edge here. Some grinding compound. Some of that in there. It's not that hot. So back to the oh man, that's one big box full of some serious gear. So what I decided to go ahead and do is go ahead and get the whole MSD kit, set up with a few extra bits and pieces from the Blowsion USA while I was at it. I got some pretty cool stickers. Come along with a brand new Woodruff key, which is pretty handy dandy. Some grommets, some TDC stickers. Of course, a ignition module here. One thing I can't figure out though is programmable ignition control system. I can't see any switches or anything that suggests I can flick a switch and program something or preset something or change chips, but I guess when it's in and running I'll know a bit more about that. And I've got this pretty flywheel right here, which weigh next to nothing, and it looks so pretty. Oh man, there we've got the pickups on the stator plate. Decided to go ahead, get all the tornadoes, come with a set of coils, start stop switch, mounting bracket as well. Pretty handy dandy, you just slap it all on there. And obviously some plug wires as well. And I decided to go ahead and get the billet engine mounts. Managed to snap 3 of mine without the ski even running yet, just simply because I had an uneven service when I bolted them down, and snap they went. But decided the only one that didn't break was a billet one, so we'll go ahead and re-smooth out the engine mounts and get them in there with some ignition. Go make some loud noises on the lake. Try this out. I can't wait. That's a job for another day. Okay, Mr. Programmable Ignition. You're not so smart because I found your programming switches. Yeah, so we've got this removable panel at the back. It gives you the chart, all the switch features. I'll try to make sense of that when I'm getting gas going through the engine. Well, that answers that question, because I had no idea how this was going to go down with a programming plug-in or what. And I was told switches, and there them switches are. Alright, so all I got to do is put all of this into this and finally push the go button. It's gonna be good. Alright, so I had a big problem with the old mounts. These crouch mounts were gonna work, but problem is I ended up snapping them on the edge here, some cracks in them. And why is that? Because when I was doing the engine bay, I had left a little bit of fiberglass from the reinforcing on here. I didn't realize it was uneven. Tightened it down, boom, and crack it went. Yeah, so anyway, 3 engine mounts broken later. I've wised up, I've gone ahead and ground back the surface. We're going all out. Get the Richter billet adjustable mounts, even better. So you notice I've stuck the bolt through. I've through bolted the mount. So pretty much what I'm doing there. If it does decide to separate, the bolt's still through and the engine won't come loose. That, coupled up with engine keepers, should stop the engine from wanting to slide forward as well and spin out of itself if anything ever did break, because it's going to get a beating out in the surf, salt water, getting in all these things. Engine mounts just don't last, so I'm trying this out to get a bit more use out of them. Alright, got my grinding compound on there, so it shouldn't take too long. Just gonna set it on there. Ooh, that looks so pretty. Forwards and backwards. Match those two surfaces together. Right, it has been about that pace, rotating all the way around. Alright, and that's what you end up with. All the anodizations come off. Got a nice even surface there. That's what we're doing. Now I've sat the trigger plate on there. Gonna put the flywheel on there. There's a specification gap clearance I need to get from the magnet to the pickups. So it says to use a little bit of clay or something like that, just to find out how far in or out the pickups need to be shimmed. Let's get into it. Alright, it's proving to be a little bit tricky. Alright, so make the little clay balls a little smaller, put a little bit of oil on there so it doesn't stick. Alright, let's measure these ones. 0.52. Yeah, measuring clay. It's never going to be exact, but I'm happy with that. That's low end of the spec, so I'm guessing the closer it is, the better. So I've gone ahead and got it as close as I can. Alright. Day 2. We're finding top dead center on cylinder 1. To wire up. Stator today. Get some plugs in here. Get the rest back together. Hopefully hear some bang. Oh man. It's not a 5-minute job. Day 2. Okay. 4. Yep. Let's get it in. Alright. I set up the top dead center to get my reference with the dial indicator down the spark plug hole, so I'm going to sacrifice the spark plug, chop the top off, drill it out, set the dial indicator in there so it doesn't move. Sure, you can buy the tool, but what's the fun in that? I'll just make one up. Alright, so we got the static timing happening. Just tighten up that bolt and nip. So I've got some timing mark here. So what we'll do is rock it till we get our 0. Boom, there it is. So what I'm going to do is I'll center punch. center punched there. So that, boom, boom, top dead center, we found it. All right. Thank you, homemade top dead center indicator, made out of a old brass tube and an old spark plug. When precision instruments are needed, you gotta do what you gotta do. So that's all together now. Put the battery in and do a little timing test for the static timing. We've got the TDC mark. We're getting together. Okay, continues. So it's pretty nifty. Pretty much wire it all up. Now you can actually get your fingers in here. I've got the bolts on the stator plate loose. I've got my top dead center. Yep, there it is. Lined up. So I can actually shift around stator plate inside. Now when I get lined up, boom, boom, boom. How do you like that for timing? Worth the money, that is worth the money. Okay, for the fully charged battery, 220. Definitely can't run pump gas. Nice. And in the other hole, we got this. $220. Boom. Oh man. It's a bit of a mess, but I couldn't help myself. Wouldn't be able to go to sleep until I figured it out. And guess what? Green button. Woo! Let's do it. Woo! Oh man, the beast is alive. What are you blinking for? Okay, I've gone in, greased up the bushing for the Bendix. Stick my washers in there. Alright, because it's a fancy ignition system, I'm not going to glue the case on. I'm just going to use rubber grease to seal it, run it, pull it apart, make sure everything looks good. If it's all looking good, I might go for more of a permanent seal at a later stage, but just to run it for now, bit of rubber grease on that seal. Alright. Somebody wants to say hello after a 6-month build. What I mean by that is it's showing the first sign of life. All you have to do is, yeah, get the bastard down the throat. Good morning.